Hey, it's Big Game James McCarty, sports director at Flag Family Media, here with senior defensive lineman of the Dragon football team, Jacob Brosius. Jacob, we talked at the beginning of the season talking about your senior year, one final ride. How is that going for you now with a third of a season left to go?
Yeah, it's going pretty good, honestly. Maybe even a little better than I honestly expected. Kind of going into the season, I think the big question for me was honestly just being a leader. That's something I never really had to be my whole time here. We've always had great leaders in the D-line room, on the defense, everything like that. And then kind of just got thrown into that role this year. So I think that was kind of the big question mark for me, honestly, like personally. But I think I've done a good job navigating it, everything on the field. I think the play has been pretty good in that sense. And, yeah, kind of overall happy with it so far.
When the season started, I anticipated more traditional four-down defensive line. Zach Dahl, week one, kind of threw that out the window, and you kind of go to that stack spot now. So you play a little bit of D-tackle depending on availability of Sayer. Then you play some D-end. You do a little bit of that kind of flats area. How have you been able to adjust to that defensive line role, especially, in high school you played linebacker, so it's not like you're not able to take a step out.
Yeah. No, it's definitely different for sure if you're used to the more traditional kind of defensive line. But I honestly love it. Like, you can kind of see it on Saturdays. We go against our offensive line, and it takes them a second to kind of understand what they're seeing, what they're looking at, who's who. Is that guy a linebacker? Is that guy a D-line? Like, I don't know. So it is quite a bit of fun, honestly. And, just the different looks we can do out of that, all the different movement we can do out of that. And it's honestly a really great time. It is quite a bit of learning. There's not a lot of, like, the old school, like, that's your guy, go right through him kind of a thing. It's a lot of, like, in this look, we're going here, in this look, you're going there. If you hear this is the check. Like, so there's a lot more you got to think about it, but honestly, it's pretty fun. I honestly really enjoy it.
You guys are playing chess while they play checkers, right?
Yep.
That's basically what it is. It's not maybe the most fun question since you guys ended up with the loss last Saturday in overtime against Northern State, but you guys gutted it out for over 60 minutes, went to that overtime frame. You made big plays all evening long. It just seemed like every drive there was one explosive play, right? A 40-yard run or a 25-yard completion. You guys still were able to force overtime, though, even with all the chaos of that ball game. What do you think that your team learned about themselves in that ball game that you can use moving forward?
That's a really good question. Honestly, like, first and foremost, Northern, really good offense. Like, I give credit to them. But I think what we learned for ourselves, at least defensively, is that, like, even if it's ugly, we still got a chance. Like, I think that's one thing we learned as a team is, like, even if maybe it isn't like we're getting a bunch of 3-and-outs here and there, maybe they are getting some big plays, like, we still have a shot to win. So I think, again, don't want to take moral victories out of a loss, but if that's one thing we can kind of take away from it, doesn't always have to look so pretty where, we're getting 3-and-outs every single drive, anything like that. If, we play against a good offense and they are getting some points up on the board, we know as a team we still got a shot. So,
hey, definitely. This weekend, you guys have the annual Battle Axe game against Bemidji State, an opportunity to play them at home as well for your senior season. I don't believe anybody's held it except for maybe Lockway at this point that's on the roster at all, and he's the head coach at this point. It's been since 2018 is the last time you guys won this ball game. How motivated are you to go out and be successful, and what does this ball game mean to you?
Yeah, this ball game honestly means a lot to me. Like, Lockway talks about it all the time. We're playing for the guys in the box, the guys that have been here before us, and the fact that no one on the roster has held the axe, at least as a Dragon. The one time I actually did see it, I was actually on an official there. So it's my one time actually holding it. But yeah, we're playing for each other this game. We all want to win this game really bad. We want to win it for the guys that were before us. Want to win it for the program. So I think that's honestly what we're focusing on. Like, yeah, the axe is cool and everything, but I think we're more focusing on the guy next to us than an axe.
When you approach this weekend's matchup, Bemidji State made a quarterback change, a redshirt freshman out there. Things might have started rough for them, losing the first two ball games. They're on a 3-game winning streak here now. There's a lot that I'm sure you can take away from film the last couple of weeks. A little bit more inexperienced at quarterback, but still uber talented. What do you guys need to do defensively to be successful against Bemidji State on Saturday?
Yeah, I think we just got to play our game. Honestly, like, I think going a little bit back to the Northern game a little bit, we talked about at least up front, I think we got out of our game a little bit. They maybe got us in some looks that maybe weren't really for us, or maybe we tried to do a little too much, honestly. We talked about it defensively, just do your 111th, do your job, trust your buddy next to you to do his 111th, and we'll be just fine. I think if we just focus on that, doing our job, having our buddy do his job, I think we'll be just fine defensively.
In closing, I'm jumping the gun a little bit. We're a week away from senior day still at this point. But just seeing the way that you've played out there this season and seasons previously, watching you in high school ball, just kind of put the blood, sweat, and tears out there. Dragon football with a handful of weeks left in your collegiate career. what has this place meant to you, and just what are you going to be able to take moving forward once you hang up the cleats for the final time?
Yeah, honestly, like, I've talked to my parents about this too, but I think coming to MSUM was the best decision I ever made in my life. I met some of the best people here that I possibly could meet. Even my roommates, stuff like that. Like, talked about my box talk, but I think the big thing, honestly, I'll take away is just the relationships, the memories I made here. Like, don't get me wrong, we all want to be all conference, we all want to be all Americans, we all want to have all the records and everything like that. But at the end of the day, that's not going to call you on your birthday. That's not going to congratulate you when you get married or you have a kid or anything like that. So it's definitely going to be all my buddies, all my brothers I made here, and that's honestly the one thing I'll take away from here.
Awesome. Well, hey, you know what? It's much deeper than football. It really is, and that's something that I've learned having an opportunity to go to school here and also be able to be a small fly on the wall of this program the last few seasons. So thank you for a few minutes of your time, Jacob. Good luck this weekend. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Big Game James McCarty alongside Jacob Brosius of the Dragon football team. Have a great rest of your day.